Okay, so today we're going to talk all about home routines. Now, I know this is not going to be the most exciting video, but it is one that if you feel like you're in chaos, or if you even just feel like, okay, I'm worn out by the end of the day, this is something that can really help you to kind of get it all back into a better flow for your homeschool. So come along and we're going to talk about it. Hi, my name is Amanda from Learning to Love Well. Sorry, I'm a little bit slower today because I am pretty tired, actually. We've had a long day and it's about 10 o'clock at night. We just put our kids to bed. Yeah, so if you are new to the channel, this is a channel all about homeschool from a biblical worldview. We talk about everything from curriculum to biblical encouragement to, well, the practical. And today we are definitely going to be addressing the practical. I'm just going to jump into this video so that I can start the rest of my nighttime routine and kind of get my stuff together so that I can reset for tomorrow. Home routines do not sound romantic. Is that a good word? It doesn't sound very appealing or fun or really spontaneous. Like there's not a lot of spontaneity in it. It's actually kind of mundane and ordinary. And I could understand hesitation if you ever are thinking about adopting home routines for your homeschool. But I will say that by setting anything up in a routine and a schedule in your home makes you and your decision-making processes so much easier during the day. So I'm going to run you through my household routine and then talk about why each of the things are set up the way that they are. So number one, our first household routine is everyone in the morning has their quiet time. When my kids first wake up in the morning, they get up, they do their quiet time. I do my quiet time. We get breakfast going. We meet for a family devotional. Chores get done. And then we flow into our together subjects. That is a typical homeschool routine. This only gets disturbed if, say, I have like an Azure standard pickup order or if there's a doctor's appointment or something like that. But other than that, this is the flow of our house. Everyone knows it. From me to the youngest member of our family, who is 5. This happens every single day, except for on the weekends. Obviously, we don't go into together subjects. The kids just get dismissed to have a good time. Why is that important? Well, it's important because first thing in the morning, I'm not scrambling to try to figure out what I'm doing in the morning. In the morning, I am planning my day according to, okay, maybe I need to make something for our family. Maybe I need to, think ahead and put the chicken in the pressure cooker so that I can work on chicken soup for tonight for dinner. Or I can work on things like, hey, I'm running low on soap. We're going to have to start making soap. Or something like that. Like I can mentally process like the little things that are going to change throughout my day. But the routine remains the same. And this is not only good for me, but my kids have pretty standard chores. One child takes dishes first thing in the morning, which would be unloading the dishwasher. Another child takes sweeping. Another child waters the garden. And mom throws on laundry first thing in the morning, most days. And then we work on putting the clothes out on the line. Like our kids know exactly what the next person is supposed to do. They all know first thing in the morning, and then make their beds. This does not change every single morning. So before we even have to start putting our minds to the things that we have to do, some things have already gotten done. Now, this may seem very boring to some people, but the fact that this has been a built-in flow into our homeschool and just our home life is the fact that I don't have to make these decisions every morning. We know exactly what's coming. Every single person knows exactly what's about to happen, what we're going to do, what books need to be pulled out, who's doing what when they're doing it. The same thing is similar, and I've actually showed this in a previous video, of what we do for actual core and together subjects. It's basically the same routine every day during homeschool. Mondays, we do logic and homemaking. Tuesdays, we do whatever science we are currently in. Right now, it is properties of matter, and we do elements of faith. Wednesday, we do elements of faith, and we do world story. Thursday, we do elements of faith, and we do forensic science. And then Friday, if we need to catch up on anything, we can. If we have a free day and we have nothing to catch up on, we can do art, or we can skip art and do an early day. We know that schedule. My kids know that schedule. They know it, they've memorized it, and we just update it as it changes. Why is that important? Every single day of the week, my kids are tracking, I'm tracking, and first thing in the morning, I am not having to decide the next thing to do. I am literally just going with the flow. And because we already have that flow, it takes away me having to make all the extra decisions that I need to make because they're already made for me. We've already made them. And unless I really feel strongly that we need to divert and change what we're doing, we just stick to it. And then we just continue to flow through the rest of the day. From there, we go into our lunchtime, and then we switch over, and each child will have a couple minutes with me, between 10-15 minutes. And then my younger child will come and work with me because obviously he can't work on his own yet. And then if anyone else needs that time, they can come back in, Lord willing, and work with me, and then we can finish up all their subjects. Then mom normally cooks dinner, and then from there, we do something as a family. We watch a movie, we hang out, the kids are playing outside, and then towards 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock, we need to get better to move it to definitely 8 o'clock, then we are moving into closing shift. That was a concept that I learned from Because It Matters YouTube channel. She's currently posting new content, but she had taken a break for a little while too because she had a lot of younger kids. But I found really great content from her about homemaking. And one of the things that she talked about was a closing shift. And so we adopted that, and we have been doing that ever since. So every night we close, we have a closing shift. Me and the kids work on things. And then from there, most of the times the kids are finishing up dishes. I'm folding whatever laundry so that I have no laundry left, or I can clean a bathroom, or I can work on whatever I have to work on for the next day. And then from there, we go into our nighttime routine, which everyone knows that we close the day with devotion. And if we're reading a reader, or like tonight, my kids are just hanging out with their dad and just talking. But either way, all of our kids know that that is the standard for the way that we run our home. This may sound like, oh wow, you don't deviate a whole lot. And the truth is we try not to. But the reason why this is so important is because there's such a structure and stability in it. Now that doesn't mean that it's boring. There's never a boring day in my house, trust me. But everyone knows where they have to be when they have to be there. And because I'm not having everyone just like, oh, okay, what do I do now? What do I do now? And because we have these standards and structures in place, everyone can just kind of flow with each other until everything's complete. No one has to guess what is coming next because, housework has to be done every day. Homework has to be done Monday through Friday, and everything like that is already there. It opens up the opportunity for us to have so much extra mental capacity to do all the other things that we need to do. And why I say that is that so many of us get worn out because we have to make every single decision. When you structure a good, solid home routine for you and your family, it frees up so much of your mental space to just be like, okay, so what am I doing here? What am I doing there? What am I doing here? What am I doing there? And it makes it easier to juggle all of the things because you're not having to think about the next thing that you have to do. You kind of already have it set. So like, for example, I tend to work out at night. I do this because I kind of got in the habit of working out at night. In order to change that habit and that routine, I would have to really work hard to change it. But because it has worked for me up until this point, I probably won't change it. When you get into a habit and a routine, you kind of already know the next thing that's coming. And so it takes out the guesswork of the next thing that you have to do. Even with filming these videos, I film on Monday, I edit on Tuesday, I try to upload by Wednesday and post by Thursday. This opens up the ability for me not to guess where I am in my structured day. It also opens up my capacity to be able to get other things done, including my own things done at night. If you are in the throes of having a lot of children, and young children. If you can establish a really good, solid home routine with your older children, you will find that some of your younger children will kind of follow suit because it's kind of already the structure of your home. And that is one of the greatest benefits of having a home routine, is that your children already know what is expected. They already know the rules. It's already clearly defined what everybody's doing when they're doing it. And then there is an ability for them to just kind of find their own confidence within that schedule. I find that without a routine and without a structure of how your days are ordered, there's more chance of children getting in trouble. There's more of a chance of mom being frustrated because no one knows what they're supposed to be doing. Now, I say all of this as someone who does bend when something goes wrong. Like if we have a kid who needs to go a little longer, I'm often praying about it like, Lord, I need a couple more minutes with this kid. And I'm constantly going back and being prayerful about like, okay, what am I doing with this? What am I doing here? But because I already have those structures in place, I can bob and I can weave and it doesn't throw off the whole day. Like if we get behind by 30 minutes because maybe we had to go pull the clothes off the line because it started to have a torrential downpour, we have that extra time buffered into our time in everything that we're doing so that we don't have to fret and freak out because we don't know what we're supposed to be doing. My kids are so used to the routine now that they just do. They know what's expected of them. They know exactly what they need to do when they're supposed to do it, and they have clearly defined rules that they can work on so that even if I have an errand that I have to run, or maybe I'm sick, or maybe someone in the family's sick that I'm tending to, they have the ability where they need to be, when they need to be there, and what they need to be doing. And this will take so much pressure off of you. I'm not going to lie to you. When you first start establishing routines, it can be difficult. And it might feel daunting and overwhelming. But what I encourage is one new routine set up over time. Look at your non-negotiables. Look at like, okay, where are we struggling the most? And then ask the Lord, God, how can I make this better? What can I do? Ask God for wisdom about these things. And then slowly start adding to your routine until you have a flow going on in your house that makes the day feel easier. I don't know exactly what is going to be the easiest for your family, nor would you know the easiest for mine, because we all have different schedules. Our husbands go to work at different times. You know, we have different children and all of those things. So I'm not going to give you a checklist on how to exactly do what we're doing. Anyway, but what I would say is that by having whatever home routine works for you and your family, don't try to copy and paste. My family's different than yours. My husband works different hours than your husband might work. And maybe the only time that your kids will see your husband is if they get up a little bit later because maybe he works third shift. And maybe that means they stay up a little later or go to bed a little earlier, depending on what he gets home. This is not a copy and paste. And I'm not going to tell you that my way is the only way. But what I will tell you is that be prayerful. And if you are finding yourself stressed out, see what works for you. You don't have to do one together subject every day of the week. Some people do all of their subjects every day. I don't. I like the way that this flow works for us. It gives us something new and exciting to do together every day and a new topic for us to study. That's not for everyone, but it does work for our family. And then we can really dive into it without having to just like read one page and then flip to another subject. Whatever you choose to do, be prayerful. Ask the Lord to help you to establish good routines. But I will say this, the more routines, structures, firm, secure boundaries that you have set up in your home, the easier it is for your children to thrive in your home. They know what's expected. They know what you want them to do and what you don't want them to do. They have clear, defined rules, and they're not always trying to walk on eggshells to try to figure out what they should or should not be doing. By doing this for your family and by giving them secure boundaries, thrive in the area in which they are in. And it also gives you the capacity and the time and the space to maybe take on some of the things that you enjoy. These routines have offered up the ability for me to read and take time at night to memorize scripture or read through Constitution books or just figure out the things that I need to be doing and giving myself time to rest and enjoy the things that I need to be doing as a mom. So I hope you get something out of this video. I hope that this helps. I hope that if you are watching this and you don't have any good routines, start small. Maybe it's make sure that everything's done in the kitchen before you go to bed. It's kind of like a closing shift. Maybe it's waking up and saying, okay, no matter what, we start devotion together. And this is how we start our homeschool day. And then we're gonna work from the next week and then figure out what you're gonna do. If this is your first time implementing a routine, give yourself some grace. They might be some hard days, especially if your kids are just now getting used to it. I say give yourself grace because it doesn't mean it's gonna all go swimmingly the first day. It could, very much could. And then it could not. It could also bomb. So give yourself some grace. Give your kids and you the chance to really let the routine start to take its work. Be firm, be kind, and allow yourself the adjustment period of coming up with these new routines in your home. With that being said, I hope that you guys get something out of this content. I hope that you have a wonderful day. God bless, and have a good night.